Hey, hello, hello, hello. Good day, everybody. So good to be back here again this weekend. So good to look at the market again. So, this week I am going to, as much as possible, to make this video as short as possible because I have to dash out very soon. So, anyway, having said that, if you look at let's look at DXY. I want us to look at DXY and the way what is happening on DXY. Last week we saw the dollar, broke this counter trend line and took off from there. So, though we are still stuck within this range, remember last week I spoke about the fact that the dollar has been bouncing around this range, right? Because of number one, there's a lot of uncertainty, tariff, immigration issue in the US, so it's really affecting the dollar. Loss of jobs, people, there's a lot of unemployment going on, inflation. And if you zoom out to the weekly time frame, you will notice that we've been in downtrend for, I think, since let me go to the top of this move, this string structure. I think this is since January, and we've been battling, moving to the downside. For me, I'm still super bearish on the dollar. Why? Because the parameters that are surrounding why the dollar is crashing really hasn't changed. All right, so I'm still very, very, very super bearish on the dollar. So I feel, in a nutshell, I feel we might have something that looks like this and then pull back to the downside. Why did I say so? Because in the next coming weeks, I think in October, next week, we're going to have another FOMC meeting. And it's looking likely that we are going to have another rate cut, So, and if you do that, that means the currency will be weak. Anytime you have uh, reduction in interest rates, what you will notice that the currency will be weak against every other currency. That's one. The secondly, um, because of the fact that a lot of people will go out there to get money, to get more money, based on that particular currency. Dollar in this case, I'm still talking about the dollar, right? So that means there's cheap money. I think I've explained that over and over in this on this channel. That means cheap money is available for manufacturers, for small businesses, for even big businesses to approach the bank and take a loan at a lower interest rate. All right. So that's actually makes the dollar to be weak in this case. So because of that, I'm expecting dollar to to put it downside because of those parameters. And then in December, there's going to be another FOMC meeting. So and the projection is that for those two FOMC meeting, it's not like it's 100%, all right? But on the street, what on the street, on the forex street, or on the currency street, is that we're likely to have more interest rate cut. For those two reasons. Also, going to next year, lastly on the dollar, the tenure or the for the Federal Reserve chairman, his tenure comes to an end next year by May. And if you've been following the news, surrounding the Federal Reserve Chairman and the President of the United States, you will notice that the President has been calling for massive rate cuts. All right. So by next year, by May, when they are going to be changing Jerome Powell, when his tenure is going to come to an end, the president is going to nominate another Federal Reserve chairman, and it's looking likely that the person that the president is likely to nominate, of course, is going to do the bidding of the president. So it seems like that we are going to have a lot of record next year. So because of that, I don't think dollar is going to be. We are going to see a wide move to the upside, except of course, if anything changes. This is the currency. In fact, this is the currency market, one. The number two, any market at all, whether currency, whether crypto, whether commodity, you can never tell. All right. So what we do in this on this as a trader is that we only anticipate, based on data that we have, whether it's fundamentals, whether it's technical. But as we speak today, everything is not looking good for the dollar. All right. So we are likely to see more downside. All right. But for now, we are holding support around 96.5. So price is still, bouncing around there, and that's why we say that price is pushing it upside. I think we're going to be seeing more of a push before Friday. NFP, don't forget, NFP is coming up this Friday. So that is also a major determinant for the direction the Federal Reserve is going to go. So I think I spent a lot of time on, on the dollar, right? So I would say that let's move on. So let's see the effects of all these things on other pairs. Let's check gold. If you look at gold, you see that gold has been on a tear. Yeah, if you look at the 4 hour time frame where I am right now, see the way price has been pushing the upside. All right, you see it's been, if you zoom out, all right, if you look at gold, you would think, oh, we have top out that are likely to push down. But if you actually zoom out, if you go to the daily time frame, you see that it's saying this move is not coming to an end yet. It's not planning to come to an end yet. You see that we keep having a push to the upside. You know, immediately after you have a break of structure, like you have here somewhere around there, that price still, comes back and keep pushing. There's 1 year, there's another 1 year, price just keep, passing to the upside. So like I've been saying on this channel, the best thing you want to do is to wait for pullback and jump on a buy. You don't want to be trying to cut the top for gold. It's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. See what we have on the weekly to just give you an idea. If you don't really zoom out like this is why I always encourage people to those in my community on my Telegram channel, and even on the WhatsApp to always zoom out. That way you will see what the market is doing properly. As you can see, we are actually still, pushing to the upside. But if it's scaled down, let's go to the 4 hour, okay, or we go to the 2 hour time frame, so we can see what the way the market behaved last week. So what we saw is that we form another minor support here. As you can see, price took off. Price at the beginning of the week, we have price took off, bounce on this support, and then we continue to the upside. All right. So this is what I was explaining earlier, that you want price to come to form a support, and then you can join that move. All right. So this week, I hope that that gold pull down further, so that it can create more buying opportunity. If I go to the 2 hour time frame, you will see the same structure that we have. That price, broke this range, broke out from this. We have a break of structure around this zone. Okay, price took off from there. So price took off and then formed support around that same zone around 3,700, and then we are right now at around 3,760, that at the close of market on Friday. So moving forward, I'm envisaging that because of the very fundamental news that is surrounding the dollar, the fact that what I just explained, the last time, that we are going to see more rate cut. Another thing I forgot to mention is that anytime you have the Federal Reserve cut rate, they go ahead to print money. Don't forget that I said that anytime they cut rate, what normally happens is that banks, make money available to businesses. And because of that, the Federal Reserve, go ahead to print more money, all right, so that they can stimulate the economy. So having said that, gold being a safe haven for a lot of investors, people want to keep there, because when you have more money in circulation, when you have the Federal Reserve print more money, or the central bank of any country print more money, what you have is that the value of that currency drops, significantly. The more money they print, the more the value drops. So because of that, investors will jump to safe haven like gold. All right, and that's why the prediction for gold in the long run, the next 12 months, that we should be looking at gold around that, probably around $5,000 per ounce. All right. So I would say that let's check what Bitcoin has been pulling back. Bitcoin has been pulling back massively. Let's go. If you go to the weekly time, see that we pull back to, you see where I marked out around. I'm expecting price come to this 107 to see what price is going to do. I'm actually in some trade on Bitcoin. I'm holding some buy on this Bitcoin. One of my for my short term trade, but for my long term trade, I'm still holding some Bitcoin that I've bought for some time. Bitcoin is a very good asset that you can buy to hedge against inflation. If I'm in my crypto group, I also have a crypto group, but that crypto group is a paid group. You understand this concept about crypto, especially for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a very, very good asset that you can hold over time. The strategy that we use on that group that I just mentioned on our crypto group is called dollar cost averaging, where you are buying Bitcoin no matter what the price is, because you know that on the long run, Bitcoin over time, always move to the upside. All right. So for me, you see where I marked that, and I want to see what price will do around this zone. If I see enough build up around there, enough accumulation price, doing this building, bouncing around this zone, I might, look for another opportunity to take a buy for my short-term trade. For my long-term trade, I might buy more and hold. All right. I'll be looking for price. If price bounces around that zone very well, I'll be looking to do something like this, to see on the short-term trade to see what price to take a buy and hold for some time, so that I can ride the wave. All right. So I haven't said that. Let's check. Let's quickly go to currency. I promise that I don't want to make this this video too long. So I'm going to just jump to Euro USD. Euro USD, last week we saw it came down from the weekly time frame, which is that we closed the previous week, like a reversal pattern. See where I marked out, and the price, came, shy of this top and then crashed to the downside. Like I mentioned, because the dollar is weak, I'm still super bullish on Euro USD. I'm envisaging more drawback, more pullback, especially to this zone. If I see a lot of pullback to this zone, I'll be looking for an opportunity to buy Euro USD. For pounds USD, same structure. Same structure. If you go to the weekly time frame as well, we have this pullback. So I'm looking for pounds to come to 1.31, before I started shooting for buy. Because like I said, we've had a lot of weak data coming from the US, and the dollar has been very weak. So in that case, you want to look for them to, to jump on a buy. I haven't said that. I strongly feel that for pounds USD, I expect price to keep pushing to the downside. As you can see, we have a break of this trend line, and there's a minor break of structure around there before price push to the upside. So I expect price to probably play around this zone before we come, test price support at 1.3. All right. So lastly, if you have not joined my Telegram channel, I'll be dropping link below. Make sure you do so. Or I will say that let's quickly look at I want us to look at NAS 100 also. Anytime the dollar is not doing too well, expect stocks to do very well. And then we've seen Nasdaq. Nasdaq has been also on a tear against the dollar. As you can see, just like you said, the structure looks like gold. So we appreciate the upside. Also, what you want to do is to look for pullback on this pair. Although I didn't drop this trade pair as a signal on the group, but I think I took a buy on this pullback, on this particular pullback like 2 weeks ago. When I saw this pullback, I took it. I took it back for US 100 or US or S&P 500. Like I mentioned, it's just like gold. Because of how big the dollar has been, this year, you want to look for opportunity to buy, and in doing so, you want to look for good pullbacks. You want to look for price to pull back. This week for NAS 100, I'll be looking for what price would do around this zone, and this is build support around there. I'll be looking for what price would do. Price keeps coming down. I'll be looking for a bounce, for confirmation that we want to continue to the upside. Like you see, somewhere around the price pullback, and then, you know, that uptrend direction continue. If you look at that direction, it's been on uptrend, and then that direction, actually continues to the upside. All right, so thank you. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Ensure you subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. All right, have a beautiful, beautiful trading week. Thank you.